podcast. Today, coming at you after a big Notre Dame win. Notre Dame defeated Nazareth College 87-37. Not often Notre Dame holds a team to under 40 points. I don't know if they ever do that, but they pretty much overwhelmed Nazareth from the start. Nazareth could get anything going, didn't have anybody scoring double figures, and only a few guys were close. They had a 9-point score and an 8-point score. But Nazareth was completely outmatched the second they got on the floor, which is to be expected. I don't think we should really take too much into that, but Notre Dame played a really good game, had 6 guys in double figures, including Blake Wesley, Paul Atkinson, Cormac Ryan Hub, Laz Goodwin, and then had some flashes from a guy like J.R. Knesny. Elijah Taylor made some plays, so going to get into that more, but first going to start with the injuries. Trey Wirtz was a no-go, had some lingering stuff towards the end of last year. I think it's pretty much unrelated. Yeah, it was an ankle thing tonight, but that's been lingering for a couple weeks, it seems like, so it's better to be safe with him. Should be back next Friday. Maybe he will be out next Friday too, and he'll play the first Saturday game. Hopefully he'll play next Friday, though, and we get to get a look or listen at him. Robbie Carmody was also inactive. I don't think he's out with an injury. I think it's that he hasn't been ramped up yet, or that his knee isn't ramped up yet enough. Maybe he's not in good enough shape because he's only been practicing for a month. I've heard Robbie Carmody is healthy, not by a direct source or anything, but it seems like he's healthy. It seems like he's practicing. Big mystery with Robbie Carmody in essentially every aspect. So can't comment too much on him. Just hopefully he's back soon. And every day that we don't see him, it seems like he's more of a long shot to contribute. So hopefully Robbie's back for his own sake, and Notre Dame could maybe use him as well. I think every day that he's not in there puts the chances of him contributing down, though, unfortunately. But on a brighter note, Paul Atkinson, wanted to touch on him first. The number one question I had for him going into the game was not what he would do, but how much Notre Dame would utilize him. And I got my answer the first play of the game. It actually got blown dead, but Atkinson got the first touch on the low block. Cormac found him early. And then Cormac found him early in transition. Like 2 plays later, Atkinson got the ball again and hit a 3 and just showed Notre Dame fans what he was capable of. Been working on that 3-point stroke all off season essentially, and finally paid off in the first scrimmage. Went 1 for 1 from 3, finished with 15 points. Cormac finished with 16, was the leading scorer, and my Cormac Ryan is the best player on the team take. Isn't looking too bad tonight. Great game by Cormac, finding guys, taking guys off the dribble. Went 4 for 7 from 3, so overall a good performance there. These are not the type of guards he's going to face in the ACC on pretty much any team, but good to see that he got into a rhythm early and started making plays, which is basically what I wanted to see from Cormac early on in the season this year. So looking forward to seeing how he can build on it. Last year, it seemed like he was in a bit of a slump early. Wasn't super aggressive, but now if he gets a game like this under his belt and then plays well against, say, Norbert's, I think he could really hit the ground running as the season goes on, and early in the season too. So that was great to see. Also noted that he was on the bottom of the zone when they went to a 2-3. Wasn't last year too much. They had Hub and Blake up there, and I assume Wirtz will be on the top as well, maybe on the bottom if Hub and Blake are in the game. But moving on to Blake, I just want to go quick for this because it's a scrimmage, but Blake I thought was really, really good. He was the first off the bench, kind of confirms he's a 7th man. Pushed the pace the first time he touched the ball, got a rebound and pushed it up the floor. I think he scored, but it seemed like every time he touched the ball, he wanted to make something happen, which we haven't seen a whole lot with Notre Dame guys, just being that productive with the ball in their hands. He also played point guard, which was interesting to see. Just kind of shows how much he's developed as an all-around player since high school. As a junior in high school, my biggest concern with him was shot selection, and now he's playing point guard for Notre Dame. So that's big to see that Bray trusts him that much to play point guard. Even though Wirtz wasn't playing, I think Wirtz would have been the second point guard. Big to see that Blake was playing point guard, though. Just was making plays all around, got a breakaway dunk, got in the passing lanes, took a charge. I wish I could see more of his defense, but overall, it's just a really good night from the sounds of it for Blake Wesley. Finished with 11 points and showed everybody why we're so excited about him. So nice game for Blake Wesley. Cormac, Atkinson, and Blake are my three main guys from this game that I liked. Hub was hitting shots too. See how many points Hub had. Hub had 12 on 4 of 12 shooting, 4 of 10 from 3. I'd like to see him get to the basket a little more than that, but it's the preseason. You don't want him attacking too much to where he gets injured, and I'm sure these guys are all banged up already. Going to the bench, JR and Taylor were the second and third guy off the bench, which means they'll probably be 8th and 9th generally without Wirtz or with Wirtz. I really liked what I saw or heard from JR. Got a breakaway dunk. I think he hit a jumper from the elbow. So, all right game from him. Would like to see him play defense, but I wasn't able to see him play defense because the game wasn't on TV. So I'll have more to tell you guys when I actually see him play. Taylor was third off the bench. Only had 1 point, but was making plays on the offensive glass. Kind of just changed the tempo of the game. Brought some intensity and energy down low, which I would like to see. A few minutes later, Zona and Sanders subbed in. Neither of them played a whole lot of minutes. Zona had 2 points, Sanders had 0, and they played 5 minutes each. So not a whole lot from them. I thought Bray would kind of go to the back end of the rotation a little more, but it's kind of good to get a feel for what he's thinking with JR and Taylor at the 8 and 9. So just liked what I saw from everybody tonight. There's not too much to take from this game. That's why it's going to be a shorter recap, but I'm sure Bray's happy with how it went. Notre Dame just ran Nazareth out of the gym. You don't hear about Notre Dame overwhelming a team like they did Nazareth tonight, even though they're a D3 team. Just completely ran them out of the gym. If they can do that to one ACC team, I'd be surprised. But Cormac Ryan had a really good game, 16 points. Atkinson had a double-double. Hopefully we get a little more of that. I wouldn't put too much into Atkinson's stats based on them playing a D3 school, but overall a really good night for him. Ball was moving all night for Notre Dame. Atkinson was getting involved. Atkinson was passing. So just love to hear all that. And Hub had 7 assists. Didn't seem like that many on the broadcast, but 7 assists is never a bad thing, especially from a guy like Prentice Hub, who's caught a lot of flack from Notre Dame fans. Wasn't super efficient tonight, but I thought he played pretty well for what it was. Ball was moving. Hub was taking open shots. And, yeah, it's good to see. Notre Dame shot 38% from 3 as a team. Nazareth shot 11%. And Notre Dame shot 88% from the free throw line. Good to see that as well. And Notre Dame shot 48.6% from the field. So overall, just a good night. It seemed like the energy was good in the building. Notre Dame is going to play St. Norbert's next week and then move on to regular season play the next week. So looking forward to covering Notre Dame more and more. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to do a post-game show for every game. And hopefully we'll just get better and better as we go. So thank you guys for watching. Go Irish, and I'll be back at you soon. Peace.